The two most familiar faces in SEC volleyball history. Between them, 58 seasons in the conference. 23rd at LSU for Fran Flory. Of course, she spent 5 years previously at Kentucky, and the 30th season for the head coach in the orange and blue, Mary Wise. And we are ready for play this evening, the first of two from Exact Tech Arena at the Stephen C. O'Connell Center. Glad you've joined us tonight as the Gators wearing the white tops with the blue shorts. In the court to your right, and in the purple and gold with the black shorts, it's the LSU Tigers in the court to your left. LSU will serve to open the match, and doing the honors is Jill Bonet, sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas. McKissick back in the lineup with the first pass and a quick middle set to Lauren Dooley.
That's nice, Tom, to see Florida getting the middle involved in the offense early. I really think that's obviously the next wrinkle for this Florida team, who is already so good from the pins.
You mentioned that again. The pins have been just outstanding with Hall, who is serving here, the former #1 recruit overall a few years ago in that vaunted recruiting class brought in by the Florida staff. Nice look, though. There's the kill. Taylor Bannister makes her presence known. And she'll serve, and she has a wicked serve.
First in the league in aces per set. She has a jump serve that she just goes up and gets. This is really dynamic. And a little bit more of a flatter serve from Taylor Bannister there.
Tip shot for Caesar, the acquisition, the transfer from Georgia. Marley has to play it off. Marley Monterey plays it off the forearms. LSU goes middle. And there's Lauren Dooley making her presence known in the middle. Came into action tonight, leading the SEC 1.41 blocks per set.
And she's matched up there in the middle against Allie Morris, who took that swing for LSU. Interestingly, getting the start. She came into the match at Mizzou in that second match for Foreman, one of their older middle blockers who we typically see in the middle for LSU. Seemed as though there was some sort of injury that was bothering her. She seemed to remove herself from the match. And Allie Morris came in, so we'll keep our eyes on the middle blocker position for LSU. They went 4 deep at Mizzou. They have 4 middle blockers that they aren't afraid to use.
Teams just kind of getting ready in this match, feeling each other out, just early going. 2-2 with LSU serving left to right with Paige Flickinger. Right side, Holly Carlton delivers for Florida.
Absolutely perfect pass from Ellie McKissick. You'll notice she's got that blue libero jersey on tonight for Florida. Look at that. Marley Monterey doesn't have to move. Passes nails, beautiful delivery from Monterey. You give Carlton a one-on-one opportunity, and that's advantage Carlton all day. Holly
Carlton to serve here for Florida. Pins the LSU passer on the sideline. Gators run the offense to Caesar again, and Caesar with the angle shot blasts away from Florida's left pin.
Tom, we talked about pause in play in the middle of the season and how that was going to affect people. Florida is a team who looks better in the spring portion of the season, and I think a big piece of it is the tempo of the offense. Look how quickly Marley Monterey gets that ball to Caesar there.
Service ace for Holly Carlton, and the Gators race out to a lead now of 3 at 5-2.
Florida coming off of a match at Ole Miss where they had 14 aces, absolutely dominated from the service line. That had to build all sorts of confidence for these Gator servers.
Rose will go to the outside. Gators block it back, but a good up. And a very aggressive setter for LSU. That, of course, is Carly Rose, only 5'7", Missy, but she's not afraid to mix it up. She's got some hops.
She is a really fun player to watch. I love the way she spreads the ball around. She is so incredibly athletic. Her height above the net. Don't let her height on the ground fool you in terms of her height above the net. She has great jumps.
Double-doubles in each of the last 2 matches at Missouri for Rose. This service is long for the Tigers from Allie Morris. So Florida gets the serve back and a 3-point lead back at 6-3. And we get the first look of the evening at Tiara Caesar from the service line. The transfer from Georgia sat out last year in accordance with transfer rules, itching to get on the floor. She's had a great start to her Gator career. Stop block on the right side. There's Forte, the transfer from Cal, who got here in the spring, up alongside of Marley Monterey, Missy.
Big block against number 9 in purple here is going to take a swing, and that's Dylan Mayberry. So we're seeing some changes in the lineup from LSU. Brister coming off of a great match at Mizzou. Would have expected to see her on the outside, but some changes that LSU is throwing at Florida early.
Thayer Hall with the tip shot, played up nicely behind the block by Mayberry. And that one's down, so LSU earns the point and serve back.
And it comes off of the arm of number 12 in purple. Another player we saw inserted into the second match at Mizzou, a young player for this team. And she is Aaliyah Williams there in the middle. She is a lot of fun to watch, only a freshman. And the freshmen have to be benefiting from this spring portion of the season as they've had some time to grow in their college roles.
Free ball for Florida. Gators go to the middle. Forte's first look. Bannister from the right. Looked like a miss-hit. Now we are up quite a bit from the floor here, but good to be in the arena watching this match tonight as we call it for you on SEC Network. Florida now up by 4 points, and Ellie McKissick, who has really taken that libero position. True freshman. Trouble for LSU. This will be a free ball opportunity for Florida. Played by McKissick. To Dooley in the middle. Like to see that quick middle set, especially in transition.
Great placement by Marley Monserrat, who does a great job. Just a step off the net, comes around it. Nothing fancy here, but establishing the middle early, so key.
Marley Monserrat, 10.12 assists per set, third in the league to this point. Bannister, a different look from the middle. And she'll get the kill as the Gator blockers didn't penetrate the net, led by Lauren Dooley, who's back in.
I really like the option of LSU running Taylor Bannister down the middle. She has to go at Lauren Dooley, who's the best blocker in the league, but she has a lot of angles to swing at. When she's coming straight at Lauren Dooley, she has the ability to go deep corners, something that Taylor Bannister is very capable of.
Taylor Bannister had 35 kills in the 2 matches at Missouri last weekend, and now the 8th on the all-time career kills list at LSU. Florida goes outside to Hall with a wrist shot there. Bannister had to readjust, but readjusted well. You're digging in for the big swing from Bannister, and you're back in the back row, and she hits that shot.
Drops it right in the hole. Really nice placement by Bannister, but at the same time, Florida defense had to see the fact that the set was off and immediately make some adjustment. You have to know what shots are available based on the set.
Walters serves for LSU. Overpass, kill in the middle for Aaliyah Williams. Number 12 in purple.
So we're seeing a couple young middles. Aaliyah Williams there in the middle right now for LSU. Opposite her, we've seen Allie Morris. Aaliyah Williams, of course, the freshman. Allie Morris, a sophomore. And while offense is nice from the middle, I think LSU's still looking for some blocking. And so this could be a blocking decision as well.
And Florida making it a point to get the ball to the middles early. Another look for Lauren Dooley, and she terminates.
And the good news for Lauren Dooley is that now with Forte in the lineup, they have someone who's more comfortable behind. She can really be a player who jumps off 2 feet in front of the setter and just gets really confident in that swing alone.
Serving for Florida is the setter, Marley Monserrat. LSU will run one to the outside. Marley got a hand on it above her head, did Monserrat. Thayer Hall takes one over her shoulder from Caesar from the back line. LSU goes outside and gets the kill from Paige Flickinger.
I have been so impressed with Paige Flickinger. You see her there, 2 in purple. This is a freshman, folks, who has already posted 4 double-doubles in just 8 matches for LSU. She's only 5'9", but as Fran Flory said, she has the ability to terminate. And with that, she brings great ball control to the floor.
I love what Fran said after Coach Flory from LSU, after the 2 matches at Missouri. We probably need to set her more. Block for Florida, but it goes out of bounds off the double block attempt of Dooley and Hall. So LSU pulls to within 2 here.
We talked about Taylor Bannister and Hall coming into this match, and it's the matchup we had all hoped for. They're right across one another there at the front line, and so they're not only taking big swings, but they're blocking each other.
Is the point to LSU. Challenge overturned. As you saw, the second referee, the R2 Wade Brents, indicate that the challenge was denied. And a point to the Tigers. They're within 1.
And set 1 is oh so important in the flow of a match, Tom. And I think that's why sometimes tight early in set one, you'll see coaches not hesitate to go to that challenge card. They want to establish some dominance.
Bullet serve played by McKissick for Florida to the right side to Carlton. Angle shot kill. Hit that one at Aaliyah Williams in back right.
This is another really good pass by Ellie McKissick, and they're going after her when she's passing out her right back. It's a difficult ball to pass because it has to cross over the shoulder of Marley Monserrat for her to be able to set it, and McKissick is making it about as easy as you possibly can.
I beg your pardon, she drove that one, I believe, at Carly Rose in back right. LSU goes to the outside, the angle shot from Flickinger is dug up by McKissick. Florida goes to Caesar. Good try there by the LSU second in career digs on their chart, Reagan Chanchuli, but she can't come up with it near the LSU bench. So Florida back out to a 3-point lead.
And give Thayer Hall an assist there. Beautiful hands out of the back court.
Thayer Hall, the former #1 recruit coming out of high school when she made her debut here in Florida. Bannister, when all else fails, just set one to the right side when she's in the front row. And from the back row, too. We've seen her with back row attacks as well, but that is just pass, set, kill to the right.
Really nice delivery from Carly Rose to give Taylor Bannister options, and she does a great job with her footwork now as an older player, getting to the ball so that she has that line shot.
Again, the more knuckleball or no rotation as Caesar blasts away right at Taylor Bannister.
And Marley Monserrat, you know, now a junior, just looks to have hit a rhythm. Did you see that ball she delivered out there to Tiara Caesar? So comfortable with the speed of this offense, just coming into her own as a player. So much fun watching her develop.
When you mentioned it earlier on, Florida running a much faster offense with more shoot sets to the outside, to the pins, to the left and right. Flickinger, Gators block it back, but a great up. Bannister from that back right position, misses it, saw Caesar and Forte there, trying to go down the line around and not successful.
And with Forte, you obviously gain offense. The question maybe is, do you lose defense? Well, it certainly doesn't look that way. Great job of blocking here early by Lauren Forte.
Riley Fisher, one of those interchangeable back row players for Mary Wise in the Florida Gators serving. Great second contact from Caesar, saving it out of the net, but a free ball for LSU. Where do they go? To the outside to Flickinger. Great up, LSU, to the middle. And off the block, a kill in the middle for 14. In purple, Allie Morris.
And you notice it's a slow set to the middle for LSU. They're purposefully doing that in order to be able to include their middle more in their offense. They said, we're just going to slow it down a bit. We've got some younger middles, and we're going to make sure that we can get balls to them. And interestingly, I think Florida had 3 blockers out, plenty of time to get there, but the timing was a little off. So it's actually slower than they're used to, and they're going to have to adjust to that.
Flickinger serves for LSU. Florida goes to Holly Carlton, and 2 blockers waiting for LSU there. Dylan Mayberry and Allie Morris to stuff the attack from Florida's right side. Flickinger to serve for the Tigers. Marley Monserrat goes middle. Forte played up by Chanchuli. Carlton just sends one across. The free ball played by the setter Rose. Outside to Mayberry, played up by McKissick. And from the pipe, back middle, perfect set to Thayer Hall for the kill. Termination, Thayer Hall. Florida, the first team to 15 here in the opening frame. Neither team has called a timeout, so we'll take one here with Florida up by 3 in Gainesville. First of 2 matches from Gainesville, Florida tonight as the 9th-ranked Florida Gators host the LSU Tigers for these back-to-back nights in SEC volleyball action. Gators up by 3, and Han Solo hasn't taken us through time travel. The volleyball format for this year in the COVID era, Missy, is split.
It's all new for everyone, and the key is flexibility. As you can see there in the spring, the hope is to have 8 conference matches. However, if you did not play Auburn in the fall, they have had to opt out of the spring portion of the season. So if you had them on your schedule, you lose those 2 matches. That is the case for LSU, but they're going to be able to reschedule matches they missed with Ole Miss on the weekend that they would have, or not the exact weekend, but in an opening in their schedule because they don't have Auburn here in the spring. So obviously flexibility is the key.
And the league built in some open dates for each team to have that flexibility. As LSU goes to the slide, play on the right for Allie Morris. Florida will counter with Thayer Hall, and she got it in on the near sideline. Thayer Hall has her second kill on the evening.
And if memory serves me, both of those coming out of the back row, Tom. So good use of back row offense by Marley Monserrat.
Well, Missy, this team in Florida, you just think you might get one 6 rotation outside hitter. Florida has 2 at the all-SEC level, and Thayer Hall and Tiara Caesar, the transfer from Georgia, and they just play all the way around. It gives defenses, players another thing to think in terms of their match preparation. You can get an attack from the back row from either Thayer Hall or Tiara Caesar.
It is a true 4th weapon out of the backcourt in all 6 rotations. You can really overload opposing blockers. And as Mary Wise has said, they're one another's greatest asset. You are training in your own gym with another all-SEC outside hitter. That is going to push you day in and day out.
Florida Gators really have turned up the offensive intensity. We talked about it. They're running a faster offense than we've seen in prior seasons, and Marley Monserrat has done the job there. And defensively as well, this is the 3rd season in a row the Florida Gators have led the Southeastern Conference in blocks, led by Lauren Dooley. And just across the board. And someone asked me, why are they so low in digs at one point? I said, well, if you block balls, you can't dig them up.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said, don't let that dig number fool you. When you block balls, it's okay to have a smaller dig number. In fact, some of the teams in the league who have a lot of digs will tell you they have trouble defending at the net.
This Florida Gator team, 9th in the latest AVCA poll. Came in with 2 losses on the season. They were back-to-back at South Carolina in a tough 5-set match there on the 2nd night of play, and then hosting Georgia here and lost in 4 sets. Came back the next night and avenged that loss. As LSU goes to the outside to, I believe it's Mayberry. We are a long way from the court, but Forte gets the rip in the middle. The transfer from Cal, all Pac-12 in 2019. Of course, the Pac-12 didn't play in the fall. Transfers to Florida and making an immediate impact here.
I can't say enough good things about Marley Monserrat, because that ball, a quick set away from the setter, is not a set that Florida's middles on the roster in the fall were really comfortable running. And so Marley Monserrat just throwing that into the mix, and she's executed it perfectly already twice here in this match. And teams who have played Florida in the past, this is a new look for Florida. They haven't had a lot of that over the last couple years. And you know, coaches are shaking their head. One more thing they have to worry about defending.
Here's Allie Morris serving for the Tigers. That's an overpass, but just played up on the outside and then played across. We've seen crafty play before. There's another example of it there.
Carly Rose is absolutely not afraid to be offensive, and she does it very well. Super efficient in her attacks. That time just catches the Gators looking.
She was a member of the all-SEC freshman team last year. Service ace as the net was friendly there to Allie Morris. Caught the net tape and trickles across. And for you, playing when you did, it must be odd just still to see balls that hit the net count. It's
taken a while to get used to it, I'll tell you. But at 6'4", Allie Morris has the upper hand there, and she can roll those over on the net.
Quick set to Forte. Forte delivers, hitting to her right around Aaliyah Williams, who was up on the block for LSU.
That arm is an absolute weapon. You just have to love this arm swing. She has such great length. Look what a good job she does approaching. The setter is pulled into left front. She does a great job staying in front of her setter and staying available offensively.
Caesar serves for Florida. Rose will go to the outside. Gator blockers are there, but the block falls harmlessly out of bounds. So credit the kill there to Dylan Mayberry, who came into action tonight appearing in only 6 sets of the 33 previously played.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about an injury report, but we've yet to see Brister or Foreman or Onwusi for LSU.
And there's a double block of Forte this time. Part of the block party was Mayberry along with Aaliyah Williams, forcing Florida head coach Mary Wise to take the first of her 2 timeouts here in the opening frame. And that's a good block setup.
Great help from the left side. Coincides
with the last year they beat the Florida Gators in this series. They swept them that year on their way to the SEC title. As Rose serves, the overpass will just be played up to the outside again. This one is long, though, for Dylan Mayberry. Dylan Mayberry, the prepvolleyball.com number 61 senior ace, as ranked by that organization last year. Florida back to a 3-point lead at 2017, and we'll have Ellie McKissick serving.
You got to be excited if you're an LSU fan. You have 2 freshmen on the outside right now. The future is looking bright for the Tigers.
Rose goes to Bannister in the middle. Watch out below. Marley Monserrat, I think, got her. No, it's Sarame there in back right. I think got her right shoulder on that ball. It was on her in a hurry.
Another good use of Bannister out of the middle. She typically swings from the right side, but look what they have the ability to do. Bring her out of the middle, give her those big angles to swing at, and wow, is she deadly when you hang that ball up there and let her go get it.
And they attack Florida's shortest blocker in this rotation, Marley Monserrat.
That's right. Running her away from Hall. Have you noticed that?
Caesar back right with the laser beam on the angle shot.
And when you got a middle blocker thinking about cheating to their right because they know Thayer Hall is out there at that pin, all of a sudden the back set behind, and look at that. Absolutely no way you're going to catch up with that ball. Beautiful setting choice by Marley Monserrat.
After making that wonderful set, Marley Monserrat to serve it here for Florida. Looking to expand on a 3-point lead late in the opening frame. Bannister right side. Looked like sort of a miss hit. McKissick off the forearms will play it out to Hall. Great up from Marley Monserrat on the block cover. Hall off the net is blocked, and that's a tough one off the net for her to make as Aaliyah Williams was there.
Well, the first
along
ball,
with Bannister.
The first ball to Thayer Hall was too tight. She swung too tight, good coverage by her team to give her a second look. The second ball well off the net. Not a lot of people are going to block that, but when you got Taylor Bannister over there, you got to think about those swings off the net with her hang time.
Jill Bonet back in the lineup for LSU to serve it here. Right side, Carlton. Great diving play by Rose, but Florida gets a free ball opportunity here. And they go quickly into the middle, and Lauren Dooley just keeps the ball in near sideline.
And everything about that play from Florida was quick. It was a quick pass from Tiara Caesar. She took some height off the ball, quickly got it into the hands of Marley Monserrat, and a quick delivery to Lauren Dooley.
Worth another look for Lauren Dooley.
Absolutely. I love the low pass from Caesar. Everyone's in position to attack. Just get the ball in your setter's hands. No reason to hang it up there. Let's get at them fast. Give Carly Rose the keys to the offense and say, hey, based on where the pass is, based on what you see, give us the best look, because good news, we have 3 players across the front that can terminate this year, not just 1. And so that's a huge step for LSU.
And here is Thayer Hall to serve it for Florida, right to left. Pass made by Chanchuli. Great up. Caught some net, gave LSU a time to dig it up. Bannister on the right with the roll shot. Again, Florida back row players digging in, expecting that laser beam from that right pin, and she uses the off-speed ball.
When you swing as high and as hard as Taylor Bannister, you create this shot for yourself. She is so good that those defensive players have got to be deep, they've got to be stopped and ready defensively, and so nice use of off-speed.
Bannister just misses going down that 23.
And you're spoiled as a Gator fan. You expect it to be a point because Holly Carlton is so incredibly consistent with those deep corner swings.
341 on the year for Carlton, 7th best in the SEC. They go to her again. Touched and played up. LSU goes outside to Mayberry, but Ellie McKissick is there. Hall back row. What a weapon from the back row. Off her fellow outside hitter's forearms, and the Gators get the first opportunity here at set point.
What a rip by Thayer Hall. But how about this not just hittable ball, but killable ball by Tiara Caesar? Great ball control to step in and really think about where she's going to place that to put Thayer Hall in the absolute best position.
Set point Florida. Carlton serves. Back row Bannister. Touch at the net. McKissick got a hand on it. Thayer Hall with another great save. Free ball for LSU. Where do they go? Rose goes outside. And Florida's in the net. Called on Forte. So the Florida middle blocker in the net. We're tied at 24. Of course, it's to 25, but win by 2. Here we go.
Nice second effort by Forte and just trying to hang as long as she possibly could to make that play happen. I still think Florida's timing on the block, that they could be up just a little early. That swing well off the net for LSU.
Caesar from the outside off the net. Played up nicely by Allie Morris. Bannister from the back row. Gators somehow keep it alive. Free ball LSU. Rose dumps it.
And the timing by Carly Rose. This is absolutely perfect timing when you want to take it over in 2, when the other defense is scrambling. Florida on a complete scramble play to try to keep that ball alive. Carly Rose knows it and goes right at him.
Set point opportunity for LSU with Allie Morris serving. McKissick with a solid pass. Out to Caesar. Caesar blasts away. We're tied at 25 as Caesar says, not quite yet.
Caesar, such a dynamic swing. You almost wonder where that was just 2 plays ago. I think I would have given her a look a little sooner there.
She's had double-digit kills in every match except the first one at South Carolina back in the fall in her first season with Florida. She serves here, past Flickinger. Oh, and a miss hit. Dylan Mayberry trying to play an off-speed ball, just hit the ball. So Florida has another opportunity here, second one at set point at 26-25. LSU with only 2 in serve receive here. And Caesar can blast away, but she's going to hit the float here. And LSU is out of rotation.
Choosing to switch up their serve receive, as you mentioned, Tom, and also so many new players on the floor for LSU. Wow, you hate to see it end like that.
So Florida takes the opening frame 27-25 and leads in this match against SEC rival, the LSU Tigers. Stay where you are. More LSU and Florida from Gainesville after this timeout on the SEC Network. As in the COVID era, the teams stay on the same side. They don't switch benches. So again, Florida in the court tier right, wearing the white tops with the blue shorts, and LSU purple tops and black shorts. In the court tier left, as you watch today, Tom Collette alongside Missy Whittemore as we're underway in set 2. Rose, a great play at the net, sets the outside to Flickinger. An up from McKissick, but an illegal contact double hit, ball handling error called on Florida.
Great save by Carly Rose to set that up because she was able to get up to the net and save that ball. No Florida blocker there. A huge swing by Flickinger. And guess what? She's already rotated out, but we are seeing Whitney Foreman get the start here in set 2. I saw her with bands on the sideline between set 1 and 2, warming up her shoulders. And so LSU has made a change in the middle. They are not afraid to go 4 deep there.
Holly Carlton with the kill for Florida as we even up at 1 apiece here in the opening moments of set number 2. And back to Foreman for a minute. Yeah, the veteran, the junior, seen action in about half of the sets so far on this season for LSU as Fran Florey's been tinkering with that lineup with so many options.
And I think Foreman obviously dealing with some nagging injuries as well. So the depth is a luxury for Fran Florey. And the blocking is a luxury for Florida. That's Lauren Dooley, the league's best blocker, alongside Holly Carlton. Could be the best block in the league right there when you have to hit into the heights
6'7", 6'6", right?
Yes, of those 2.
Here's Thayer Hall. Rose will back set to Bannister. Gators had 2 blockers there, but that shows you just how athletic and how quick Bannister is attacking from that right side when she's in the front row.
Absolutely. That's the one you just got to roll back under the net and move on to the next play.
7 kills to lead everyone on the court at this point for Taylor Bannister, who's the leading server in terms of aces per set in the league. Dooley with a kind of almost a miss. Out to the outside to Flickinger. Monserrat is solid in back right for Florida when she's in the back row. There's Holly Carlton again from the right. 5th kill on the evening for the redshirt senior, transferred here from North Carolina.
You mentioned it, Tom. Solid dig by Monserrat, and then McKissick steps in with a really nice second contact that allows Holly Carlton to take a real swing, not just place that ball, but come in and take a swing in what could have been an out-of-system play.
Here's Riley Fisher checking into serve for Florida. Chanchuli with the pass for LSU, and the slide play is just long for the sophomore Allie Morris. Some Gators trying to stretch an early lead here from 4-2 with Fisher serving. Allie Morris, they went right back to her. What a save with the one right arm from Marley Monserrat. Flickinger is blocked, but great up for LSU. Rose swings. Somehow got across the net. Caesar is long. Caesar looking for a touch, but none forthcoming.
And for Caesar, that's going to be her first error on the night. But I like the fact that she took a big rip at the ball.
Out go Dooley and Fisher for Florida. Who's back on the court is the Cal transfer, Lauren Forte, awaiting the serve of Flickinger. Forte makes her presence known on the first rotation back in. That's a good look for the transfer from Cal.
LSU going after McKissick and right back there in serve receive, and she continues to handle it very, very well.
Holly Carlton, one of the Gators' more consistent servers with that serve. Out to the outside. That was Hannah Brister. We thought we'd see her. And she's now in at the outside hitter position. She'll get another look here. And she'll get the kill on a nice angle shot. And Missy, you were telling me the story of Hannah Brister before the match, and she was recruited to join the beach team after playing at Northwestern State. I had to write this down. Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it is. And she's found a home on the indoor team.
Yeah, it was Samara Hill who had shoulder surgery, and that really put LSU in a position where they needed another outside. And they approached her about would she like to join the indoor team, and she said, yeah, she'd like to join the indoor team. So an unusual path, but she's made her way to the Tigers indoor team, and she's made her presence felt right away.
And I left out a syllable. Our producer, Scott, all over it. Nacogdoches, Louisiana, Northwestern State. There is Brister again. And a ball handling error called on Marley Monserrat.
And as you would expect, knowing that she had plans to play on the beach, you would expect Brister to have great ball movement, be able to move the ball all around the court, and that time a really nice swing down the line from her. We didn't see her in set one, but she and Foreman both inserted into the lineup here in set two.
And an ace! Carly Rose with the ace, and we're tied at 6.
Rose going right at that seam between McKissick and Tiara Caesar.
Forte is blocked with the up for Caesar. Out to the outside. That ball was in the air a long time. LSU. Rose runs the offense out to Brister. And the block is there for Forte and Monserrat.
And look at Forte, those hands so far over the net. That was a beautiful block. Not only does she close, but the penetration, the reach over the net as she just completely takes away that swing.
No one celebrates on the Florida squad like Marley Monserrat either. And she always has a smile on her face. Service ace! Ellie McKissick with the ace.
Talk about going after the seams. It was McKissick who was ace just moments ago, and she goes back and gets one of her own. I like it.
5th ace on the year for McKissick. We'll do it again here. With the Gators now up 2. Foreman with the tip. Marley Monserrat says, I can take a second contact and get a kill myself.
And really good timing because Foreman had gone to right front and switched with Taylor Bannister. A non-middle blocker in the middle is probably not going to be aware of that blocking assignment. And you can see just a blocking mishap for LSU as everyone caught out of position.
And Bannister looked back to her fellow teammates with a big smile saying, yeah, I know what happened there. She'll take a swing here and be blocked by Lauren Dooley up alongside of Marley Monserrat. Gators finding a blocking rhythm, it seems now, Missy.
Yeah, they wait on that one. Really good timing, and I think the timing was a little off for Taylor Bannister in her defense, a little early to that ball.
Florida up by 4 here in set 2, already up 1 set to none. Back to Gainesville after this. Tigers and Gators battling in the first of two tonight in Gainesville in SEC volleyball action. Glad you're along for the ride tonight. Tom Collette alongside Missy Whittemore, former All-SEC Gators setter. As Ellie McKissick, after the timeout called, will put it in play. Out to Brister. McKissick with the up. Thayer Hall awaits the ball. Good touch at the net for the LSU blockers. Out to Brister. And there's Sarame with a one-handed save, but it falls harmlessly in the socially distanced bench. It's so odd to see that, because normally they're all lined up in a row, of course, and now they're in groups of two, separated by distance. Gave her the opportunity to run a long way for Caesar.
If there weren't any obstacles in the way, I think that there's a good chance Tiara Caesar could have made a play on that ball, because I'll tell you what, we got to see her foot speed on display as she just about ran that one down.
Serve for Walters. Joust at the net, won by Marley Monserrat. LSU runs the offense to the outside as Flickinger took a swing. Hall with the snap of the wrist. Bannister from the right. Caesar goes down and gets it for Florida. Out to Flickinger, and that was wide. She was staring at Lauren Dooley, taking away that angle shot and tried to go around, it looked like.
Florida never in perfect offensive rhythm there. A set to the outside where Thayer Hall didn't have much of a chance to approach. She just sort of had to gather and swing. But she puts a quality ball in play and allows her team another chance to play defense. It actually creates an LSU error. So really smart volleyball there by Thayer Hall. At this point in set two, Tom, we've talked a lot about LSU being that team that's kind of right there on the edge. Beautiful serve by Marley Monserrat, who gets a little help from the net tape. But we've talked about LSU being kind of right there on the edge. You know, they push Mizzou to 5 sets 2 nights in a row. They go extras in that first set there with Florida. And in this point in set 2, it feels really important for them not to let Florida run away with this because of their mindset. Coach Floyer has talked so much about them believing that they can compete. They certainly played like it in set 1. If they can hang in there right here, I think they can compete.
Thayer Hall, what a luxury for Mary Wise and his coaching staff in Florida to have a blocker on the left side with the physicality of Thayer Hall, who just stuffed Taylor Bannister on that exchange.
And that's what sets Thayer Hall apart, is her ability to play the game well in every phase. Defense, offense, blocking, passing, you know, just she can really do it all.
Has all the tools as Flickinger with the tip shot. There's Hall behind the block with the up. Chanchuli with yet another dig. Flickinger, angle shot, kill.
Beautiful set by Carly Rose. I love the tempo of the offense here. We mentioned that Flickinger is only 5'9", so give her a little hole in the block and she's gonna make you pay for it. She's not used to getting a lot of easy looks. And it's the tempo of the offense that allows that perfect first contact, and they just push it to the pin.
There have been some, quote, undersized outsides that have done well in this league through the years. The one that came to mind first was Carly Kahn at Missouri. Just athleticism and volleyball IQ.
Certainly a compliment to be mentioned in the same sentence as Carly Kahn. She was quite a player.
Marley Monserrat, that's a move that Shannon Wells, associate head coach for Florida, has worked with Marley on through her first 2.5 years here in the orange and blue uniforms for Florida. That's set across the net. Looking for the open spot in the middle of the floor and just sets it across.
And you just feel like watching Marley Monserrat, like the game has slowed down for her. She is seeing the game so well, so aware of the floor.
Chanchuli with the pass there for LSU. All the way to Flickinger on the outside. The roll shot played up by McKissick. Lauren Dooley blocked, but it stayed on the LSU side. They could not play it up. So credit the kill to Lauren Dooley, who has really seen quite a few sets tonight, as Florida has made a consistent effort to get the ball to Lauren Dooley.
And I think LSU trying to adjust to that. That was really nice block help by Taylor Bannister that time. Not a one-on-one opportunity for Lauren Dooley. So Bannister getting over there and helping, but just not quite able to shut Dooley down.
Another block. This one for Dooley. Carlton was alongside, but that's Lauren Dooley making her presence felt again.
Yeah, talk about helping. Holly Carlton in on this one as a double block up in the middle for Florida. And again, it's that 40 alongside 99, one of the best in the league, that double block.
Thayer Hall just takes a deep breath to reset for a moment. Now she's ready. Rose goes outside to Flickinger. And Marley Montre wants an over the net violation call on Flickinger, but she won't get that call from the up official.
Marley feels
Joshua
like
Hall.
she was in position to make a play on this ball, and so Flickinger would have to wait for it to cross the plane, and wow, those are the hard calls right there. I think she was patient enough. I think it was a good play by Flickinger.
I'd agree. Service ace by the SEC's ace per sets leader, Taylor Bannister. Look out, here comes LSU trying to get back in it, down by a half dozen with the best server in the league. Taking another whack at it here. Florida with 3 in serve receive. As McKissick has to dive to get that one off the net. Holly Carlton, severe angle just beyond the 3-meter line on that sideline. That's perfect placement. She has such a wide shot cone. She can put it almost anywhere on the floor coming from that right side. The lefty, Holly Carlton. Yeah,
she keeps that right back defender guessing and just keeps that right back defender very frustrated, I would guess. But what about Taylor Bannister pushing the serve deep and then coming right back with that short serve, and Ellie McKissick able to dive in there and make a play on it.
Great up from Riley Fisher as the Gator bench celebrates that one. Fisher there with a dig in back left. Caesar swings, Caesar kills. What a weapon to have on the outside.
Huge, 2 huge gets by Riley Fisher, subbed in and right back the pancake. And that's just the start of it. She's got another big play in this rally as well. Finally finished off by Tiara Caesar, and you saw the huge celebration from the Florida bench every time Riley Fisher went to the floor to make a big play.
It's too bad IHOP doesn't have a sponsorship, because that would have been an IHOP pancake play of the day. Timeout, you talked about it, Missy. This is a danger zone for a young team trying to believe in itself, coming off of 2 hard-fought 5-set losses at Missouri, trying to get over that hill, and you're down by 8 in the second set, already down a set. They've got to re-energize and refocus and just fight hard. That's one thing that Fran Flores said about this LSU squad. There is no lack of fight in this squad. They've got to believe. They've got to build that confidence level. They can compete in this league. And we've seen it, especially in that first set, that they really do have the athletes and the wherewithal to compete in the league.
Yeah, they've got the pieces of the puzzle. And you know, right now, Fran Flores is talking about just chipping away 1 point at a time. Let's cover this gap. And if you're Mary Wise, you're certainly thinking, let's put our foot on the gas pedal right here. Absolutely no reason to let someone into this match. Foot on the gas pedal, let's finish it. And it looks like that pancake call is going to be overturned. They're going to say that one hit the floor. And so that point will go to LSU. And that could be the momentum swing that LSU needs right here to get back in this second set.
Well, down by 6 in rally scoring. It's a big hill to climb.
Ooh.
And you're going to, wow.
Ooh.
Looked like the fingers were underneath it, but as the Gators do a quick middle set to Forte, and Forte delivers.
That arm swing of Lauren Forte, that's a thing of beauty right there.
What an addition to this 9th-ranked Florida squad. The transfer from Cal. Didn't play in the fall, of course, was at Cal. Transfers here to Florida and can play right away. McKissick with a great diving save. Out to Caesar. Caesar blasts away and hits it off Allie Morris for the kill.
Working that left hand of the middle blocker, Tiara Caesar just goes up and rips away. You're going to have strong hands to block Tiara Caesar.
LSU head coach Fran Flory again sensing that this one's slipping away and trying to re-energize this team. Will take the timeout here. As off the forearms of Marley Monserrat, Caesar just tools one off the block.
I like the aggressive swing off of the fact that even though it was a bump pass out to the outside, Tiara Caesar's in position. She's got a good approach. She goes ahead and takes a nice hard swing at that ball.
She's got great hands with that bump set, or great forearms, if you will, to get the ball out to Caesar there. And
Jim, like Lauren Forte, and there's a good look at Marley Monserrat just moments ago. She's, Lauren Forte is on a jump count. And so, you have to realize that they're trying to learn one another and learn this offense, and they only have so many swings because they're being very careful with Lauren Forte as she rehabs back from an injury. And so I'm just shocked at how efficient they've been able to be, knowing that they have limited training time. Just a really nice job by Marley Monserrat to work Lauren Forte into this offense.
And Marley was part of that block with Lauren Forte there, as the Gators' lead has expanded to 9 with Holly Carlton serving. And so LSU will get the serve back here after the error by Holly Carlton. We will see Whitney Foreman back into the match for the Tigers as Reagan Chanchuli, second on the all-time dig list for LSU, will check in to serve. She only needs, coming into action tonight, 35 more to take over the top spot. As you saw, Sarame checking in for Florida as well. And there's an ace for Reagan Chanchuli, the senior from Spring, Texas.
This is great placement by Chanchuli because really all night long they have driven the ball deep into right back there on McKissick, and that time they finally go short into right front. That's a difficult ball to pass.
Short one that's played by Hall there. Forte, great vision, goes to her right, gets one on the sideline, far side for the kill.
You mentioned that huge cone of shots that we see from Holly Carlton moments ago. Well, we are seeing the same thing from Forte as she just wrist away that time and finds that line there in left back.
Again, an 8-point lead for Florida here late in the second set. Again, for this predominantly youthful LSU squad, dangerous spot. Trailing big, already down a set after a closely played first set. Flickinger with the pass outside to Brister. Both McKissick and Caesar thought they had a shot at that one, but well-placed ball by Hannah Brister. Just her third match for the LSU Tigers in the purple and gold.
And you're getting a look at why Brister had 21 kills in that second match at Mizzou. She is very capable of putting the ball away.
Hit over 400 in that match. Very efficient. After, as you said, just a, lukewarm's not the right word, but just a warm-up match with 7 the night before.
Yeah,
and getting her feet wet.
Yeah, you had to think there could have been some nerves. Her first match, first start at Mizzou, that's a big one.
That's a tough place to play. Hall, great opportunity by Chanchuli to keep it alive, but that'll go as a kill for Thayer Hall. Preseason All-SEC selection, Thayer Hall.
And Thayer Hall here in the spring portion of the season just looks to be swinging so freely. She has that confidence about her, but her arm swing just looks so natural right now. And we all know what a natural leader she is. So she's just really living up to all those roles.
Chanchuli makes the last gas pass as Brister touched at the net, dug up by McKissick. Back row attack, Caesar. Brister again. Caesar played it up. Look out. McKissick and Monserrat collide, so a free ball opportunity for LSU. Quickly back to Foreman, but there was Dooley. To Foreman again. Had to drop the right elbow on that one. Marley Monserrat. And excuse me, I said, oh, okay, I got this.
And I tell you, so many good sets in the middle to Lauren Dooley that now LSU, Lauren Dooley's got their attention. They're thinking about defending her. And so Marley Monserrat, very wise to go over on 2 there.
Well, Lauren Dooley at 6'6" is hard to miss in the middle. Service ace! Gators closing in a big way. First opportunity at set point here in the second frame.
And McKissick with a couple aces here in set 2.
And she has just gotten into that libero position with some talented players there that were already here on the Florida roster. One of them right there, Sarame with the save. Thayer Hall blasts away, but Chanchuli's up to the task. Brister hit the ball in the net. So set 2 goes for Florida as they pull away and win it by double digits.
Florida, she has 5 kills, along with Lauren Forte opposite her in the middle. Caesar and Carlton 6 kills apiece, and Hall and Monserrat 3 kills apiece. So everyone chipping in on this Florida offense.
Spreading the wealth has Marley Monserrat, the Florida setter, and you mentioned it earlier, I believe, in set 1, where you really see her maturation process, the choices she makes running this Florida offense. Of course, her first year, she really enjoyed playing in the the two-setter lineup with her sister, Allie. And now she's the one in the 5-1. She is running this team, and the way she has run it to this point here in this 2021 split season, especially as of late as we've moved into spring, to see what she's been able to do has been pretty special to watch if you're wearing orange and blue.
Tom, as I take a look at the court, I see for LSU, we're now going to see the 4th middle of the day as Anita Onwusi, the sophomore at LSU there in middle front, will get the start for the Tigers. So they have gone 4 deep in the middle. We've seen Foreman, we've seen Onwusi, we've seen Williams, and we've seen Morris.
And Onwusi has seen the most action of any of those previously mentioned before tonight. And here she is in set 3, trying to make a difference, trying to keep this LSU squad alive as they are down 0-2, 3 out of 5. So they've got to win this set to keep this match alive as the Gators break out on top 1-0. And we'll send Thayer Hall to serve, who's had a very productive night to this point already. Onwusi with the tip shot, but Caesar's there to play it up. Carlton is blocked. She tried the tap shot, but Flickinger was up alongside Onwusi.
That ball not set all the way to the antenna, so it plays in favor of Onwusi, who didn't have to move far to make a play on that ball. And Onwusi certainly looks to be an intimidating block. I think she's still a young blocker. So the key is, can she make the right choices? If she makes the right choices and gets there, she's certainly quite capable of stuffing balls.
Bannister is in the back row, so she had to play that one from the floor. And a miss hit there for Tiara Caesar. Just her 2nd error on the night in 11 swings. She's been highly effective from the pin and also from the back row for this Florida team as LSU takes the lead 2-1. Again, in a must-win situation, trailing by 2 sets. As Bannister, the best server by the numbers in the league, steps to serve for LSU. There's a block for Onwusi up alongside Rose. As I think the correct strategy by Florida, Rose, the shortest player on the court to go at their right side, but Onwusi was there with Carly Rose to stuff that attack. LSU up by 2. And it seems a renewed focus as that floater just barely caught net and got across. Chanchula with yet another dig. Bannister back row, played up by McKissick. Thayer Hall from the back row, what a weapon to have. 3 across the front and another one in the back row for Florida.
And I'll tell you, Thayer Hall is approaching with purpose out of the back court. She is treating this attack as a true offensive weapon. This is not an out-of-system, hey, let me take a swing at the ball, a free ball over the net. This is part of the offensive attack, and you really have to credit the communication between her and Marley Monserrat.
Riley Fisher in for Florida serving as Bannister takes one from the back row. Touched at the net and played up by Monserrat. Florida goes right side to Carlton. It was touched at the net, and Bannister knew it. She just couldn't get a hand on it. It's almost as if the quarterback throws it and a linebacker in front touches it, and it changes the trajectory of the ball. And Bannister tried to adjust, but couldn't do it quick enough. Tied at 3. Out to Flickinger. Caesar, that's just pure power, rearing back and hitting it into a double block.
Yeah, and you've got Forte in front and Caesar all the way out at the pins. You're really overloading the young blocker Onwusi with decisions there. She's thinking, do I jump with Forte? Do I head out to the pin? There's a lot of choices there for Marley Monserrat.
So that's Caesar up against Rose. Forte is there to block Onwusi.
Forte alone, because Tiara Caesar has to jump with the front row setter. You know, that's her responsibility. That leaves Forte down the middle against Onwusi. Great timing on the part of Forte.
Forte's 4th block on the evening. As Fisher serves another bullet for Florida. Rose will go to the outside to Flickinger. Flickinger again down the line and missed it. No touch call forthcoming.
And it's that great blocking for Florida that's creating those errors, because those hitters are having a hard time finding their way around the block, and they're trying to create shots that just aren't there.
Florida now on a 5-0 scoring run as Fisher continues to serve. And of course, service coming up, it's in the net. The service error for Riley Fisher.
That was great service pressure by Fisher. Some really hard, flat serves down the line that created great scoring opportunities for the Gators.
Fisher, one of those players that we talked about earlier, the wealth of back row players for Florida, as McKissick now the libero. You had Fisher and Sarame battling for that spot until Ellie came in and has really taken that position as Anwusi returns the favor, blocking Forte.
And I think that's Anwusi at her best. Don't make her move. Don't force her to make decisions. Running right at her. That might be the only bad choice that Marley Monterey has made all day. But Anwusi just came into the match, younger blocker, make her move.
That's right outside to Caesar. Again, Caesar just rears back, takes the swing, finds the seam in the block, and makes it happen. That's Anwusi and Carly Rose there on the right side for LSU, trying to make the block as Carlton serves. Back row Bannister. And Florida's in the net. Forte, call for being in the net. Second net violation of the evening against Lauren Forte. One of the hands on the way down.
It's typically on the way down. Yeah, I think she's just trying to hang as long as she possibly can to get a contact there on the ball.
Here's Chanchuli serving for the Tigers. And she'll serve an ace as Marty Monterey tried to spin around and make a play last minute, but again, the net friendly to the LSU server, Reagan Chanchuli.
We've seen Marley Monterey make some pretty amazing plays off of those roll shots off the net, but she wasn't able to get a hand on that one.
Marley Monterey will set the outside to Caesar, and Caesar delivers yet again.
Interesting.
9 on the night.
Interesting there. McKissick had to step into right front to pass that ball, and after she passes the ball, she's immediately looking because that's the approach pattern if Thayer Hall there coming out of the back row for an attack. And so all the players very aware of that. You know, there's so much going on out there. They see McKissick make the pass and immediately make the move so that Thayer Hall could approach.
Rose will go to the outside to Brister. Marley's second contact kill. Marley Monterey's 4th in 6 attempts on the evening.
And that time it's Foreman in the middle for LSU here, who would have this blocking assignment.
How well did she disguise that?
Because they had Forte who could possibly go behind there, and so you saw the left side blocker release in case there was a back set.
Brister on the outside as Sarame puts her hands up in the air saying, I had you beat on that one. But that's another play by Brister, the graduate transfer from Northwestern State.
I really like the way Brister plays. She's just got really nice game, the way she moves the ball around and uses the block and all sorts of shots.
Rose gets a hand on it. Look out down there at the empty press row.
Yeah, we talked about foot speed. How about the foot speed of Carly Rose, and how about the effort to go along with it?
She really brings energy to the match. I really enjoy watching Carly Rose play.
Her delivery is so fluid, her jump set, it's just beautiful.
There's a nice look. Quick set to Whitney Foreman on the shoot set to the middle, off to her left. And Whitney Foreman, the veteran of the middle blockers we've seen so far in the evening for LSU, scores here.
Carly Rose, only a sophomore, and look, she's all the way off the net there at the 10-foot line and gets around that ball and still finds her middle blocker.
Brister serves. Florida goes to back right, and double-digit kills again for Tiara Caesar.
And this is basically a right side attacker in a 2-attack rotation for Florida, meaning that the setter was in right front there, but now with either Thayer Hall or Tiara Caesar able to hit that right back attack, you've got 3 great options.
And here's Marley Monterey set to serve for Florida, up by 2. Gators up 2-0 in sets. Right side Bannister blasts away, hitting that one off of the left arm of Lauren Dooley.
Lauren Dooley about a half or a fourth of a step late, trying to make that close to her left, and Taylor Bannister just enough time to get one through that seam.
believe we'll check on the server. Yes, it is Jill Bonet. That one looked a little off from the pass. It was too tight to the net as Monterey got 2 hands on it, but the timing wasn't there with Lauren Dooley. So we're tied at 11. Must-win situation for LSU to extend this match. And again, Bonet to serve. 3 in serve receive for Florida. Typical pattern for a Mary Wise team. Flickinger flicks one across the net, but McKissick got it. Bonet with the save. Flickinger. It's just a bit long. I like the thought process, though.
Yeah.
And that's a heady play, Missy, for a true freshman.
Yeah.
Recognizing back right was open, tried to get it there before a Florida defender could get there, but just missed.
Speaking of freshmen, how about the get by McKissick, making that dive into the middle of the court for a beautiful dig.
Florida with the slimmest of leads here in this third frame it's gone, just like that, the service error. But if you're a coach, you'd like to see the misses that way instead of in the net. At least make the passers, those in serve receive, make a choice at least.
Right, and if you're LSU, you know, after getting beat by double digits there in that second set, you have to love the way your team continues to battle here in this third set.
They have responded well as Caesar with the off-speed ball, and there's Flickinger behind the block with the play for LSU. Monterey goes right side. Kill Holly Carlton. Carlton's 8th kill on the match.
And I feel
the
like
distribution great for Florida offensively across the net.
It is. And I feel like we've seen Carlton angle all night because she has such a wide cone of angle shots. And this time here she comes and just turns one down the line.
You look at Florida's hit parade at this point. Caesar 10, Carlton 8, Forte 6, Hall and Dooley 5 apiece. And Marley, the setter, Marley Monterey with 4. Overpass, Forte, easy pickings. She's up to 7 on the night.
Another good serve by Riley Fisher, who's just driving it.
And one of those back row players, her, Sarame, McKissick. Some great ball handling ability, and you mentioned the service, what they all 3 can do when they're serving, and she will come out of the match. There's the libero exchange. McKissick back on the court. As Flickinger set to serve it here for the Tigers. Off the forearms all the way out to Caesar. Flickinger with a nice play in back middle. And there's a quick look for Onwusi, who has made her presence known here in the third set.
Yeah, again, Carly Rose coming off the net, still not afraid to force that set to the middle in transition. I really like the choice.
14 all. Flickinger. Right side Carlton. Flickinger again with the dig up. Brister. There's where you have a setter, and Holly Carlton makes nice off the forearms to Onwusi, and she misses it.
There was block help coming from left front in Tiara Caesar, and Onwusi saw that. It was a good choice. She just didn't clear the net.
Must-win situation for the LSU Tigers. They find themselves trailing by 1 here in the third set in Gainesville. You're looking at the player on the Florida squad who, among active players, has the most triple doubles. Holly Carlton, of course, she set when she played at UNC. We saw her down in Puerto Rico when the Gators played North Carolina, and then she transferred to Florida. And she always has that business-like approach, very level, very measured, and she could be down, the team could be down by 5 points, they could be up by 5 points, and she comes to play with that same focus, that same attitude every point. Holly Carlton.
Yeah, coaches can only hope they would have someone as consistent as Holly Carlton.
Out to the outside to Brister goes LSU. McKissick in back left. Great anticipation of the dump from Marley Monterey there from LSU. Is Carly Rose in the net? She was jousting Lauren Forte. That is Carly Rose at 5'7", jousting with 6'3" Lauren Forte.
Did I give her a few inches? I think I called her a 5'9" earlier. I was thinking of Flickinger. She's 5'9". Carly Rose is even smaller than that.
Rose will set the middle to Onwusi, and Onwusi, that quick shoot set right to the middle, and Onwusi, as you said, just goes up and attacks it and makes it work.
Yeah, you see the raw athleticism on display when Onwusi's in the air. She's still young in terms of her knowledge of the game of volleyball. In fact, as she goes to the bench, Coach Fran Flory is still talking to her. But wow, does she have a big upside.
Chanchuli with the floater on the serve. Again, Caesar, and there's Chanchuli and back left again. Rose on that second contact. Maybe, I don't know, there were blockers there, but she saw something, but hit the ball in the net. So Florida up by 2. Bannister and Caesar at this point in the match lead in kills with 10 each as Caesar set to serve. What a reaction by Brister to play the ball up, cover her own block. Forte. Flickinger there though. Foreman. Whitney Foreman with a nice look in the middle. We've seen LSU terminate those rallies the last 2 times with attacks from the middle. Onwusi, now Foreman.
And a great use of middle offense by Carly Rose because middles can be so effective in long rallies in transition when defense doesn't have time to set up.
Outside to Hall, we haven't called her name in a while on the offense for Florida. Foreman with the tip shot. Rose goes outside as Brister is played up. Look out. Communication error there between Sarame and McKissick. As we're tied at 17.
Both players who have spent time in the Libero jerseys, they're both very aggressive on second contact, and I think that's why you saw that mistake. It was a great no play on the first contact by Paula Sarame because it allowed Tiara Caesar to make a good play out of middle back.
Caesar with the pass here. Caesar from the back row, make it 11.
Wow, and that's Caesar from the back row, as you mentioned, landing way up there by the net. That ball is perfectly placed by Marley Monserrat, and Caesar jumps from just right behind that 10-foot line. That is a beautiful ball.
And what we've seen from Florida's outsides in the back row is the preferred, it seems like, for Hall is back middle to pipe and back right for Caesar. Lauren Dooley stretches to her left to make that block.
A different look for Taylor Bannister there, who tries to go off 1 foot, but she's ahead of the ball. She has to slow down her approach. She's on her way down when she swings. Definitely advantage blockers, particularly when they're Florida blockers.
A great look from Scott Snyder and our crew. You saw how far she reached to her left to get there to make that block effective and take it away from Bannister. As we mentioned, these 2 teams will play again tomorrow night, and during a regular year, we often talk about adjustments in a match, Missy. What about adjustments between matches? That's where the chess match gets interesting, at least the way I've seen it. Of course, Florida split 2 with South Carolina, split 2 with Georgia in the fall. As in the case of the South Carolina matchup, South Carolina made some great adjustments after getting swept by Florida in the opening play in Columbia, the opening match. But then against Georgia, Georgia kind of came in here and took a big swing and took Florida out in the first match, but Florida came back the next night. As we take a look at the impact players that we've talked about throughout this match tonight, as Caesar and Carlton and Dooley and Monserrat. And for LSU, Bannister is Fran Flory, Missy, has really juggled a lot of players into the lineup, trying to give that Florida defense the scouting plan, the game plan, the match plan that Dave Booz on the defensive side for Florida has put together to try to give the Gators different looks. Offensive
depth for Florida has been absolutely key. It really only makes life easier on the outside for Tiara Caesar and for Thayer Hall when there's production out of the middle. And so big numbers there by Lauren Dooley tonight. That's really exciting. Obviously Forte in the lineup and Marley Monserrat doing a great job of spreading it around. Good choices, good timing in her selection of sets. And I think the same can be said of Carly Rose of LSU. And this is a team in the Tigers that's on their way up.
Rose will set the outside here to Brister. Marley has to steer one towards the middle of the court. The free ball aggressive by Bannister, but Florida plays it up. Out to Brister again. And that's in as Thayer Hall thought it was going out and got out of the way.
Brister with a really sharp angle there. She uses every inch of that court.
Walters checks back in for LSU to serve in this spot, replacing Hannah Brister. As again, Florida with 3 in serve receive. The libero and Florida's 2 outsides, with Caesar anchoring serve receive in the middle here. And you've got Sarame loaded behind them.
Yeah, Florida's in a position now in their lineup that they are literally passing with the same 3 players in every single rotation. How about Caesar out of the back row once again out of right back? I feel like in the fall we were really seeing Florida typically out of middle back with the use of their back row attack. That right back attack is becoming deadly for the Gators. But as I was saying, same 3 players in serve receive in every rotation, obviously not in the same place every time. But talk about a comfort zone when you pass next to the same people every day. That's really going to help Florida.
Bannister from the right with the off-speed shot. Pancake save there for McKissick. And Thayer Hall terminates.
Wow, I thought that ball was going to be a little too tight. Absolutely not. Thayer Hall finds her way with a sharp angle around that one.
We've talked so much about diversity and depth that this Florida team has. First, a look at the last play from McKissick for set, and Thayer Hall's 10th.
Yeah.
That's quite a 1-2 punch from that left antenna.
Yeah, and if you can
and from the back row.
Yeah,
and
if you can have 2 outsides in the top 10 in the league and not have to put so much pressure on one individual to take so many swings, particularly in a season when you're playing back-to-back nights against every opponent, really gives Florida a big advantage.
Flickinger from the outside. Foreman goes up and gets the ball. The dig went up and into the plane of the net, and Foreman alertly terminated.
Yeah, Florida never quite got first contact under control. A little ugly, great effort, but not exactly how they wanted it. And Foreman, nice job of terminating when she had the opportunity.
2-point Florida lead as LSU, after being beaten by double digits in the second set, has really refocused and has hung in this match to keep it alive. Holly Carlton, Rose with the up. And there's that foot speed and athleticism from Rose, just couldn't get the ball back in play. As she got to that ball, I thought it would be down, but there's Rose moving to her right, got the right hand on it.
And Carlton's so smart, just taking what's given to her. The block late to close, the angle open, and she just goes for it.
Right side, Bannister. Montre with strong hands can play the ball above her head. Holly Carlton is blocked as once again we call the name of Anita Onwusi.
A really slowly developing play for Florida. Obviously, everyone knew where that ball was going. The block had plenty of time to set up, but credit the LSU block for doing a good job. When they had the time, they timed it perfectly. They sealed, they closed, they were right where they needed to be.
Bannister served for LSU. Florida goes to Caesar, and Caesar terminates.
And now Lauren Dooley, because of her success on that middle attack, she's holding the middle blocker for LSU. You see that middle blocker having to wait for a second before they can release to the outside. And that's only opening things up even more for Tiara Caesar.
And that's Caesar against Rose.
Right, and then add to that the speed of the Florida offense this spring. And that's a huge blocking problem for opponents.
LSU scrambles. Bannister will send it across. Played up by Fisher for Florida. Right side, Carlton. What a play by Chanchuli, but it goes out of bounds. It's match point for the 9th-ranked team in the country, Florida.
Point Florida.
It'll be Riley Fisher serving here. The cheerleaders are here, urging the fans that are here to stand up. The socially distanced crowd. Flickinger is blocked, but the block goes off of Florida's Forte and Carlton Long.
Fearless Flickinger, how about that freshman on match point, just rearing back. Absolutely.
We'll call her Fearless Flickinger.
I think so.
She just ripped, and she'll serve here for LSU as Florida has their second opportunity at match point. Florida goes to Caesar, but first, illegal contact, double hit called on Marley Montre, who is backing up towards the right side and tries to push it all the way to the left pin.
Yeah, the pass just got behind her a little. And that gets really difficult to handle as a setter.
Third chance at match point for Florida. Caesar winds up, and she's blocked on Wusi. There again.
LSU.
And don't look now, but LSU within one. And I think we're going to have a net violation called on LSU, Tom. Set one ended in a rather anticlimactic way as LSU was called for an overlap call. And now are we going to get a net violation on LSU to end set three?
I don't see a net there, do you?
I honestly think you holding Florida off in what you could argue is Florida's best offensive rotation, as they have Caesar in the front row along with Forte and Carlton, and they've got Hall coming out of the back row as a fourth option, and LSU not letting them have that final point.
Flickinger serves, McKissick. Marley Monterey will have to play it off the forearm. Caesar off the net. Played up by Flickinger. Out to Brister. Brister's blocked. Played up by Chanchuli. Brister again. Brister kills. LSU takes the lead, 25-24.
And you wondered, did LSU believe they could do it? They look like they believe it right now.
Another quick timeout by Florida's Mary Wise as LSU avoiding multiple match points as Brister swings in between McKissick and a diving Thayer Hall in back middle.
Wow, I'm just so impressed with Brister. Swings with such confidence. Great angles off of her swing. Sees the court, uses every inch of the court. I mean, what a great find for Fran Flora, and she finds her right across campus on the beach volleyball team. Just a great story all the way around.
We did not see much of Hannah Brister early in this match. We've seen a lot of her late. Now 26 swings, as she was a late addition to the lineup, as we saw some of the younger outside hitters get their first opportunity. And she has 26 swings, tying Bannister and Flickinger for the most looks. So when she's gotten in there, they have set her the ball and given her the opportunity.
And just think about how different this stat sheet for LSU looks than it did a year ago. To have three players equally distributed with 26 attempts apiece, that has not been the case for LSU teams of recent, where it's been very heavy dose of Taylor Bannister and not a lot of players around her with the ability to consistently terminate. And that's just not the case with the Tigers this year.
Last time the two played here in Gainesville, seems like an eternity ago, November 15th, 2019. A little more balanced on that evening, with Bannister still far and above everybody else. 27 looks, 19 the next for Samara Hill, who's not in action. Here's the serve, set point for LSU. Marley sets the middle to Forte. Marley Monterey, Forte with the connection. We're tied at 25.
I like the choice. I'll tell you, the pass is there. It's tight. I think it's a hard ball to set outside. When it's that tight, it's an easy delivery to the middle. Give it to Lauren Forte.
And the veteran of Pac-12 wars goes around on Wusi. Tied at 25 on Wusi. Kind of a push shot into the block, makes it work. Second chance at set point for LSU at 26-25. And Chanchuli, the libero, to serve as Sarame in for Florida.
Carly Rose watches Florida set the middle and get the side out they need, and she comes right back with a middle attack of her own.
Pass made McKissick for Florida. Caesar, off hands, a chance for LSU. To the middle, Foreman is blocked by Forte!
I tell you, Caesar had a good swing there in serve receive, but Carly Rose just gets enough of a touch on it to allow her defense to transition it. Here's the transition they get. They go to Foreman in front, but how about Forte being right where she needs to be, staying with her attacker? Great job by Forte.
26 all, Caesar serves. Out to Brister. There's Sarame in back right for Florida. Back right, Caesar. Caesar swings, Caesar kills. Again, match point, Florida.
That right back attack for Florida, just one more wrinkle in this offense that's already pretty loaded.
LSU battling hard here in this third set to keep it alive. Match point, Florida. Again, Rose to the outside to Brister. Florida with a chance after the McKissick dig. Caesar with the tip shot. Pancake save, Chanchuli. But a free ball for Florida, this time to Thayer Hall. And Thayer Hall! Florida's other outside tonight, if you will, with the great performance from Caesar, with the play to end the match as the Gators force past 25 for the second time tonight, taking it in the third, 28-26.
And there was some body language there from Thayer Hall. You could tell she was thinking, give me that ball. And she puts this one to sleep. The final kill of the night from All-American Thayer Hall at the left pin to finish off a much improved, very competitive LSU team. This was a fun one, Tom.
And guess what? We get to see these two teams again tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel at 6 o'clock. Number 9, Florida and LSU from Exact Tech Arena at the Stephen C. O'Connell Center. A big thank you to Scott Snyder and our entire SEC Network crew. For Missy Whittemore, I'm Tom Collette saying so long from Gainesville, Florida, where tonight the final score is Florida winning over LSU 3-0. To watch this entire match on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.